Hello and welcome back to Gabe in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a delicious Japanese bread, shokupan. Pan meaning bread, shoku meaning eat. I think it means normal bread, eaten bread, plain bread, you know. It is also known as Tangzhong, which is a technique used, which I'll show you in just a moment. For this recipe, you're going to need Now, as I promised, this recipe is super easy. We're going to start with a Tangzhong. Now, the Tangzhong, start with a cold pan. You want a heavy bottom pan. It can be non-stick if you wish. You just get your liquids in there. So your milk and your water, which will be the first part of the ingredients you saw on the screen. And get your flour in there. The idea of this is to really get those gluten structures formed. And it helps the rest of the bread. It cheats it into getting nice gluten structures. That's how you get that nice, stretchy bread. That's the final product. I'm just gonna whisk that in just briefly. And essentially we're gonna go till we get a nice thick paste. Now the avid bread makers among you will notice that the ratio of water to flour in this Tangzhong is 1:5. That's because it is. We're supposed to be getting a nice hydrate. In fact, the total hydration for you bread makers out there, you avid bread makers, for our total Japanese milk bread is 75%. Now, it's important to mention you don't want to leave this because it will stick and it will burn. And that is perfect. I am happy with that. So I'm just going to take it off the heat. And then I'm just going to transfer it to a plate. You can use a bowl, you can use whatever you wish. Honestly, you just need to transfer it out of the pan to let it cool. Use a small bowl if you wish. If you're gluten intolerant, this is not the recipe for you, but to make up for it, we have planned a Brazilian cheese bread recipe, which is completely gluten-free. You're gonna love it. Then grab yourself some cling film, make contact with the Tangzhong. Prevents a skin. I don't even know if you'd form a skin, but we're not taking any chances on here on this channel. So make contact and we'll leave that to cool. Just like that. Now this part of the recipe, unfortunately, you're gonna need a stand mix. You don't need a stand mix, but you're gonna want one because it makes your life so much easier. You wouldn't believe how much easier. I've made this by hand. It takes ages. You knead it, sticky till it becomes not worth it, man. Get one of these. You can even get a cheap one. I don't know, because you do need a nice strong one with a nice dough hook. Your milk, you want to get this to 30 degrees C. You can do this however you wish. I put it in the microwave for literally like 10 seconds and that was good enough. You don't want to go above 48 because that's when your yeast dies. So milk goes in. Beautiful. You can substitute some of that milk for cream. We're gonna get our yeast. No. We'll get our sugar. The order of this doesn't matter, but I'll put our sugar in. Yeast loves sugar. If you have salt, if you're using salt, do not add the salt yet because it does inhibit the yeast a little bit. Get your yeast open. This is just a standard 7-gram pack. It's supposed to be ultra fast, whatever that means. Get yourself some dry active yeast and then sprinkle that right on top. We're gonna let this start to froth before we do the rest. Right, so my yeast isn't frothing, but I do have the yeast aroma. It's because I was stirring it, so it didn't get a chance to froth to the top. But that's my fault, not the yeast's fault. I hope the fact that I can smell it means it's still good to go. So let's carry on. So the rest is literally just all in one, put everything in. So in with my dry milk, apart from your butter. In with my flour, bread flour, strong white bread flour. Don't forget your Tangzhong. In it goes. The mixer will do the work. Mixing that up, don't worry about it. And in with your whole egg. And we're gonna go medium till it comes together nicely. I'm just gonna add our butter bit at a time. So I've got them in cubes, as you can see there. And I'm just gonna add it to this bit at a time. And then we'll see how sticky it is. If it's still this sticky, we're gonna have to do the rest manually. But get your butter in there. And there's advice on the internet to not take your stand mixer beyond level 2 when you're kneading dough. But I just find that it's just not enough. So I always go to like 3. naughty, but don't do this. You might break your stand mix. It helps if your butter is soft. You need softened butter for this stage. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna give a little bit of a manual knead just to get things a little bit more together. It's a little bit wet at the moment. Look at that. This dough feels very nice. That's all I'm gonna say. Right, we're just gonna form a nice circle. Just tuck, 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 tuck. Beautiful. Straight into your bowl. Now, because it's so sticky, I'm just gonna lightly dust the bowl just there at the bottom. Put that straight in there. So get yourself some cling film. I'm just gonna cover that because we don't want to lose too much moistness. Moistness. Now, I had my oven on at 50 degrees for like 2 minutes. Turned it off. It's been a long time. It's been about an hour since. So the oven is nice and warm. Not too warm, but nice and warm. Warm environment for this to proof. We want this to double in size, and it's going to take about an hour and a half, maybe to 2 hours, depending on how warm or how cold. So yeah, keep an eye on it. When it doubles, we'll do the next steps. And of course, I hope I don't have to tell you this, but make sure you clean up after yourselves. Don't be leaving this for your partners. Don't leave it for your husband. Don't leave it for your wife. You gotta clean that, clean up after yourself, guys. And then, I feel like I should clarify. When I said that I preheated the oven to 50 degrees C, I didn't mean preheat your oven to 50 degrees C and shove your dough in there. Hell no. You want it to be between 20 and 30 degrees C. Those are usually, that's the sweet spot. Anything higher tends to be too much. It will rise too much and you get really airy bread. It will just not, that's not good. Any lower, it's not gonna rise. So what I did, I turned it on for literally a minute or two. That was an hour ago. Then I've let it cool down. I have an infrared thermometer, give it a scan. It was 28 degrees, so that it's safe to put your bread in there. I feel like I had to say that. And now we have this bad boy. Okay, so beat out all the air. Roll out your dough into a kind of cylinder shaped, and then eyeball a third. Just gonna weigh it to be sure. That'll do me. Grab your balls, well, grab your pastry and shape them into balls. Now it's also advisable to underknead rather than overknead. So it's preferable to have less gluten than you need rather than more gluten than you need. Because too much gluten makes your bread tough, as you'd expect, because all the protein structures are formed. It's going to be tough, not light, not airy. Stretch out your dough into a rounded rectangle shape, rounded rectangle. Then you want to grab the ends like so, gently, especially since it's now sticky. Stick them like that, like you're making some kind of parcel, some kind of envelope. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna roll it tightly from here. So, like so, then roll it as tightly as you can. Like so, and then pinch the edges together, so. And that can go straight into your bread tin, like so. We'll leave that in there and we'll do the same with the other two. Beautiful. Now grab your cling film, cover it, and we're gonna proof till this is about 80% full. Yep, that's gonna take about an hour again. Okay, at this point, I should mention, preheat your oven to 167, between 160 and 170 degrees C. Doesn't matter, honestly. Between that range, you're good to go. 165, perfect. 165 degrees Celsius, Americans, Celsius. Once your dough has proofed to about 80%, this is ready to bake. As in like 80% of the volume of this is not yet. It's ready to bake. You have two options. You can leave it, you can egg wash. So grab yourself an egg yolk, put some milk in there, about 1-to-1 ratio of egg yolk to milk. Beat it or mix it together and then brush it nicely, nice and generously all over the top. And you can bake it open. It will rise and it will look just like this with the nice peaks, you know, the nice peaks. If you have this lid with this baking tray, and you want a nice flat loaf to make a square shape, well, a rectangle shape, which is what we want to do. We want a rectangle shape because we're going to be slicing it and making another recipe with nice rectangles later on. The lid just slides on like so. If I can show you guys, I've got a bit of flour on here. It just slides on like that. We don't need to egg wash it. It will rise to the surface and it will have a nice even browning all over. That's your second option. So the choice is honestly up to you. My lid goes on and I'm just going to put it in the oven for 30 minutes thereabouts, and then we'll check to see if it's ready. In we go, straight into the middle shelf. 30 minutes. All right. Our bread is finished. Now, to make sure, you can use a thermometer, put it in one of the grooves. You're looking for 88 degrees Celsius. With bread, you want to tip it out immediately. It comes out of the oven. Whew. Be careful, guys. Whew, that is hot. There we go. Oh, look at that. Let's tip that out. Perfection. That is absolute perfection. Now we'll leave that to cool completely before we do anything else to it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen and everyone between, this is our final product. Doesn't that look good? You guys are as excited as I am. Okay, I don't want to waste too much. This is probably going to go in the toaster. For the next recipe, you're going to need at least 1 inch thick. I'm pretty sure that's an inch. Jess, can you come measure this? Are you able to measure this? So I'm going to slice our inch. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Oh,
an inch.
That is gorgeous. 1 inch.
1 inch.
I thought this would be at least 1 inch. Now come up here, please, so I can see. Is that at least 1 inch?
Yeah.
That's at least 1 inch.
Can I take this?
You can have that one.
Okay.
You can toast it and put some butter on it. Yeah, boy. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Give this a go at home. Please leave a comment telling us how it went for you. If there's anything you would change, anything you didn't like, again, please let us know in the comments down below. And if you loved the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe as well. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Don't forget part 2. We're going to be using this same bread. Bye.